Yeah. You know what? Um, can I tell y'all a secret? Every time, every time I have I have something planned to say every time I hit the live button, and then when I see that it's live, my mind goes, "Oh shit, we're live," and it loses all like train of thought that I had before. So why don't we try this? I wanted to try something a little different. Well, good morning, everybody. It's the new blurred order. We back in effect. My bad. Yes, Lisa, it's for real this time. I thought before. Yeah, I waited too long, but it don't matter. We're here now, and it's for real now, and we got a lot of things to talk about, bruh. What a week we had! Like right now, we got the Umbrella Academy, which is popping. All right, as you know, Ms. Marvel is on episode 3. We had boy, did we have a season finale for Obi Wan, and also, as you know, the boys is creeping up on possibly being one of the best superhero shows ever. I ain't gonna lie, like this joint is crazy. A lot of other news is going on. We'll talk about Ezra Miller's no longer in. It sounds like Brazen Dion may not be coming back, but today we're gonna go ahead and kick this off the right way with the homie Yvette Nicole saying. Giving us our intro, and then Steph Ray may have a question today. What's up, Nicole?
Hey guys, I love the new blurred order. You should too.
Whoa.
All righty. As we get into much of everything that we need to get into, we are obviously here joined today by the core crew. We all here, baby. Al, and we are leading off with the homie Steffi is in the building. Al, we got Ty is in the building. Tyrone is in the building. Yaz is in the building. Myself, I'm in the building. And of course, all of us are here together, which is always something special. And since we are joined by our good friend Steph today, I was wondering if Steph may have had one of those cool Steph Ray questions of the day or whatever. You got something to say real quick, Steph?
I do indeed. In light of recent events and the way that the world is I won't say the world, the way that America is conducting itself right now, I'm curious, what fictional dystopian society are we the closest to becoming and why? I got mine. We are right on the edge of one of my favorite media properties that I love to read and watch, but don't want to live. I feel like we're right there.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna hold it, but I have mine. I already know.
Now, Steph, I thought that question is dope. There's so many different properties. Are we talking? We're talking Marvel, Star Wars, Star Trek, Umbrella Academy, The Boys. Which one is it that we're the closest to becoming, like in real life?
Yeah. We're close.
All right. Well, I guess we got a lot to ponder on. I might have to go ahead and take a little medicine before I answer that question, man, because that requires extensive thinking, shall I say. But let's go ahead and put that one on the backdrop. And that goes for those of y'all watching as well, man. Which fictional dystopian world are we the closest to becoming? That's a great question, man. And I think it's only fair that we lead off with this new world that the Umbrella Academy is in right now. Now, obviously, there's so much stuff to talk about, man, and I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. Of all of the shows and all of the movies that are popping right now, Umbrella Academy is new. So I think we may discuss it a little bit, but I really want to get into this, boys. Really want to get into this Obi Wan stuff, and then maybe a little Miss Marvel because I know Tyrone's here, so we don't want to disappoint Tyrone. But real quick, man, great question. Think of your answers. In the meantime, yes, the Umbrella Academy is back, bro. I know this is like one of your favorite shows. Yes, what you think about it? Now I'm gonna keep it real. I haven't seen the whole thing, so without giving away the whole entire series, maybe some highlights, some pointers on what we can expect from Umbrella Academy. What's up?
Yes, it is one of my favorite series. We can expect all the craziness that we were used to seeing with the Umbrella Academy. The kids are back, and they're back in the mansion, but is it their mansion? We don't really know. So things get a little hectic and it gets crazy, and we learn some interesting things, and we find out some some other interesting things, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm digging the series so far and where it's going, and I like how the conflict that the kids are having to overcome right now. It's kind of funny, with dad. So yeah, I'm excited to see where it's gonna go. Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Now, this is a Dark Horse comic book, this is cementing my theory that Marvel and DC's days are numbered in terms of being the forefront in the comic book universe. But for now, Ty, I know you are Umbrella Academy fan. I think you've already seen the whole thing. Should we expect to be disappointed? Are we loving what we're seeing? What's up? What you think about it?
I mean, I like it a lot. I can't really say whether someone will be disappointed. I mean, I guess if you rate it next to The Boys, you might be. But it's a really good show. It's pretty much the same things that like I agree with Yaz, the same things we've seen from the Umbrella Academy before. This one is more focused, I think, this season on identities and things like that. It does address things that we're dealing with in society now. And I think that's always, a plus when you're watching something that's supposed to be make believe. And you kind of can relate to some of the realities that come along with it. So I would recommend it. I would recommend the Umbrella Academy.
All right. Well, it's easy for us superhero fans to watch stuff like this. Tyrone, you're a fan of Umbrella Academy as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first two seasons. It's a fun show to watch. It's wild. It's at times touching and heartbreaking at times, but mostly it's just fun, like just crazy fun. So it's a good show that I enjoy watching. Yeah, I don't really put it up there with like the top shows, but it's definitely worth a watch.
Oh wow, interesting. Steph,
not like no shade,
No shade.
I mean,
there's a lot of
shady.
there's a lot of room. I know you're not used to playing in this little area, but there's a lot of room between the best show ever and like the worst show ever. And I think it's just somewhere in there. I know you hate being in that area, but like there's just a lot of space there to play.
All right. Fair enough. That sounds like a lot to unpack, but we'll go back to it. Steph, now, Steph, I know this may not necessarily be, this may not have Wakandan warriors in it, but I'm wondering if you have ever happened to allow the Umbrella Academy to graze your eyeballs.
You're muted. You're muted, Steph.
That was a friendship test to see if and you passed. So congratulations. I did attempt to get into Umbrella Academy. I gave it a good college try, and they lost me at I'm a man with the arms of a gorilla because I went to space. I was just like, what the hell? What is happening? It was just so weird. I liked the one who kind of looks like Johnny Depp. He was entertaining. And there's a black girl, and that's all that I enjoyed about it.
Oh wow! Well,
sorry, my bad.
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead, please. I think
I was gonna say, which one do we think looks like Johnny Depp though?
The one with the eyeliner.
Long hair.
Klaus.
Yeah.
Klaus, obviously. Yeah.
All right, I was just making sure.
Yeah.
He's got a little Jack Sparrow appeal, man. This season I think was special, because I think it's safe to go over this briefly, Tyrone, without getting into the actual storyline. But
are you trying to?
It's hard.
I feel like
I feel like you're
you're about to spoil some shit like that.
I know,
like
right?
anytime
He's
you
on
do
the
that,
cliffhanger, like
All
dangling.
right. I was really going to talk about the actor,
Elliot Page.
Elliot Page.
Yeah.
And the journey that Elliot is ensuing and that they're bringing to the forefront. But perhaps that could be spoiling. I don't know. Maybe we save it for another week, since we all haven't seen the entire thing.
But I will just say
that's a
earlier
real
on. Now
life
nobody else saw this, but earlier on you were like, we could talk about this shit. Like it's what the whole series dropped,
Yep.
and we talk about it. Like let's just go. And I say go for it. Don't hold yourself back, Vince. We want to
Okay,
see.
all right,
We want to
all
hear
right.
what you got to say.
Oh wow! Okay, all right, cool, man. Tyrone, the moderator, man. I got to. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna say, for me personally, what the hell? What's happening right now? I don't even realize that. You know what I'm saying? I'm being picked at, and
Nah, man. Go ahead for real though. Like he's right because we did definitely talk about that. And I think it does hurt us when we feel like we're
okay.
confined.
All right. Well, allow me to say this then. I'll try. I can't spoil the whole plot line because I haven't seen the whole thing, but I can definitely spoil the first episode for you. And I can just basically say that if you look on, if you look on this picture at the very front, is Ellen. I think it was Ellen. She used to go by, they used to go by Ellen. And then Ellen Paige has gone through a transition in real life. All right, this is not like for the TV, for the cameras. In real life, has gone through a transition and is now considered. She's considered transgendered. And what I think was fascinating of this series was that they adopted that whole entire issue into the plot so that it's seamless, not having to sit and have. Now this is what I wanted to holler at y'all about real quick, and I don't even want to spend too much on this because I can't really speak up on it because I'm not involved with it. But I actually think that this was really cool how they incorporated Elliot's new transformation. I know that it's going to drive those who don't have the capacity to understand that type of transition completely nuts, and say, "Well, she was born with the VJ, so she should be, it's a she." And I get the mental, the psychological, the way it is in our heads where we have to think that, if you're born a certain way, this is how you are, and don't force it down my throat. But I think it was seamless. It was quick. It wasn't too out there, and I actually thought that maybe Hollywood could learn a lesson from how this was done. You know what I'm saying? Am I wrong, Tyrone? I mean, I thought that this was very masterfully, classily, and even possibly setting the standard as to how to handle. This was a set. Some could call this a production issue, bro. Your main character is no longer a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. I mean, we talk about it like it's just a big deal, but your main character that started off as Ellen Page, who was one of the strongest members of the house, is coming to you and saying, "Look, I don't feel comfortable being Ellen anymore. I'm Elliot now, and I don't even know if I want to act anymore if I can't be my true self on screen." And then the writers say, "All right, we'll just go ahead and knock it out." And I think that it was done masterfully. I don't know, Tyrone. You tell me, and then Ty, if you can follow up.
Yeah, I think what they did was kind of help to establish an example of what it's like to normalize something. So, in the scene, the Vanya, known as the Vanya character, they're talking, and in conversation, somebody calls her Vanya, and she says it's Victor, and he says it's Victor. It's Victor now. I was Vanya, now I'm Victor. Is that an issue for anybody? And they went around the table, and they're just like, no. We can go on. Like, let's continue. Like, here's my actual issue, and it's like it has to do with the plot line. And it was, I believe, if that's the way that Elliot Page wanted, to kind of put that on screen, then that's a great way to say, hey, look, it can be as easy as this if everybody is just open and accepting and not bigoted. Like this is how easy it should be for people, especially because. We have no idea what Elliot Page feels like inside. So, I'm sure that moment, even though it landed like it did on the show, and it seemed like, okay, this seems like not a big deal for people, and we could move on and we could. But imagine how that felt inside for Elliot Page saying, "Here's who I am now," and do we have an issue with that? The closest people in my life, do we have an issue with that? Somebody could have said, "Yes, I do have an issue," and then what? You know what I mean? So, I think it is a good example of a way that conversation should go. And it was, I definitely, when I saw it, I was like, that was good. And that felt good. And I hope that whenever it is addressed in the show, they keep doing it just very genuinely and just very, very honestly. So, so we can keep on having these examples. Representation and normalization is a good thing.
Yeah. Tylene. Like this, it did happen, bro. And I mean, they did it in a manner where it's like, it's a matter of fact. Okay, this happened. All right, we're going to keep moving on about it. I frankly was a little shocked that they didn't make it an issue for, like, they didn't have that one person who represented the one who couldn't, but you're Vanya. You know what I'm saying? You're an XY chromosome. Like, I'm shocked that they didn't even have it, like any resistance. I mean, there's a little bit of playful resistance in there as the plot continues. But I mean, what do you think about this? Now, before you answer real quick, Tylene, just remember, this is who we last saw. And this who's coming to the screen now. And this is who the producers have to wrestle with, getting them not just their real identity on screen, but getting the audience that's been watching him as Vanya accept him. So what say you about this, homeboy?
I mean, you pretty much like took the words right out of my mouth, because that's what my argument would have been, is that I agree with Tyrone that they did the elegant job of just making it seem, normal. The problem that I have with that is that doesn't effectively help anyone that on the other side of the coin. And I think, to your point, having at least one person that, was close to her, at least pose the question of, why, or, when, what made you feel like this, or whatever, or I'm just having trouble grasping it, or that concept. I think that opens the door for, conversations with those type of people who aren't necessarily racist or, bigots or anything like that, but more or less are just uninformed as far as to, what a person may go through or what a person may feel in regards to their gender. I think that part of it would have made it more digestible for me, because I have a problem with always kind of fluffing a situation and just making it easier to digest rather than actually addressing the issues or problems that the other side may feel. And then I think that kind of brings in the whole conversation. So I'm with you. I would have liked to see at least like maybe one person, if whether it was Harland or whoever they wanted to use, but I would have liked to see at least one person really close to her say, well, but you're Vanya, like, and like, just with that not so necessary a hate coming from a place of hate, but just a place of confusion. You know what I'm saying? And that would have probably resonated a little bit better for me.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
I have a quick question for. Oh, sorry. I have a quick question for Ty. Yeah, Ty, in regards to that, because I haven't seen the way I've only seen the way Diego and Five and who else was sitting at that table. I only saw like how three of them dealt with it. I never because when the last episode I saw, Luther didn't know, and I figured that Luther being kind of the thick one, if you will, he may be. Or in my mind, he might be the person that's like, okay, explain this to me because I don't understand. Does that happen at some point, or is he just?
Nah, everybody is pretty much like you described. Everybody is very welcoming and very, just like, oh no, that no one has any pushback. There's no pushback. No, everybody's just like, oh, okay, you're Victor now. All right, cool. And everybody not only do they like acknowledge him as Victor, but they treat him as Victor. So it's I no longer have a sister, I have a brother.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and everybody kind of comes with that. So I would have just liked to see at least one. And Luther, to your point, would have been probably the guy to go with, because he's not that bright. So, like, just from a pure intellectual standpoint, it would have made it a little bit more comfortable to have that conversation with him. But hey, You know,
So
they
I
decided
feel
to go this route. That's
so
cool.
watching it, the only one who really like questioned anything was Claire. And it was when they're like walking down the street after she like comes out, basically, you know, like to the family and stuff like that. And she basically is just like, you know, like I should have seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like I should have known, you know. And Vanya's like, well, Victor's like, how could you would have known? Like, you know, no, like shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like stop. Like I didn't know, so how could you have known? You know what I'm saying? So there was a little bit like, because Claire's like, well, I should have seen this. I should have known, you know, just because she was like different from Claire. And Vanya's like, no, like I didn't even know like this myself. You know what I'm saying? Sissy, the girl that she was with, brought it out of her and like made her feel more comfortable with herself and just how she, you know, like really is, and like made her come out of her shell. So
yeah, that part. And I mean, I know we've already dedicated ourselves to spoiling this, but I'll say that Luther did come in as the big aloof, but they just didn't lean into it. And I think that not like in a strong way, like but he was just kind of like, well, we should do something, and well, let's celebrate, or you know, some other crazy stuff. And I think that the key word here, from what I've heard of all of us, is Tyrone's word, normalizing. I think that what we're watching, Ty, is them make a concerted effort to not feed into the folks who need to have it over explained to them. Like this is a conscious decision they made to not yield airtime to those who need to have this, you know, like make sense. They're like, nah, fuck that, bro. This is who it is, and wrestle with it if you want. That's what it is. And I mean, listen, 10 years ago, I would have been like, yo, I need more help understanding this. But I think in the way things are rolling, it's starting to become a little more normalized, as Tyra was saying. Steph, I know you had to pick up something from a delivery or something like that, but I don't know if you were made aware of this. I know you're not up on Umbrella Academy, but maybe you're familiar with the plight of Ellen Page, and how Ellen Page is now Elliot Page, and this is one of the main actors in Umbrella Academy. Elliot wants to be referred to as he, him, his, if I'm not mistaken, because that's how Elliot believes he identifies. And they incorporated this into the show, which is why we're talking about it. The plight of Elliot. My question for you is, like, is that oh man, you know, it's hard to ask you because you haven't. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but
just describe the scene real quick, because it's a quick one. I mean, it's nothing, you know, too crazy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So really quick, Vanya, who was what she was called before. In this picture, we're looking at on a young lady Ellen Page. She's Vanya, but in this one, well, I don't have one with her. In this one, she's depicting what she looks like as Victor. Victor comes out and says, "Hey, by the way, hey guys, my name is Victor now." You know, they're calling her Vanya. He's like, "It's Victor now," and then they're like, "Well, really? Since when?" And Victor's like, "Well, it's always been Victor. I just had to learn. I just learned that that's who it is. You know, that's who I am now. And my last girlfriend kind of helped me pinpoint that's one of the things wrong with me, or not wrong with me, but that's one of the things that I could that I can actually step into confidently now." And the thing that I'm stressing on this is that I feel like this is not a play that the Umbrella Academy decided to make when they first started writing Umbrella Academy scripts for the TV production. I feel like this is Elliot kind of you know what I'm saying? Like she's bringing her own life into her role, and I'm wondering if that's something that's that Hollywood could learn from. You know, I guess, or what is it that we're learning from this whole thing? And then we can move on. I'm just curious from the psychological mindset of Steph Ray. What are we learning here with a transitioned actor who is now literally a man on screen? What say you, Steph?
I mean, I think it was their only option. If they want to have Elliot involved in the show, then they need to cast Elliot appropriately in a way that represents who he is now. So I think it makes all the sense. If they wanted to keep Vanya as the character was written, then they would need to find an actress to play Vanya. But with the new information that Elliot shared, then okay, you got to cast Elliot as a man because that's who he is. So I think it made sense. I was listening to y'all talk about the reaction, and It sounded like the characters were just kind of like, oh, okay, cool. That sounds to me like sort of, and TV is where you should do this. Like maybe they gave the character the ideal reaction, which is that the people you love are just like, okay, cool, no problem. And nobody's like, wait, what? I think that's wonderful. I don't think it's realistic. I think that in a real scenario, you're going to have people with like, excuse me, huh? You know, that it's going to take some people a moment to adjust to a major shift in their perception like that. But I think that they gave the character the ideal reveal scene, which is what TV is for, you know?
Yeah, I guess that is kind of what it is. And I guess, Ty, I agree with you. For me, when this happened, I was like, it is kind of, they're taking this very well. You know what I'm saying? Like, but again, in the back of my head, I was thinking, this is purposeful work here. Like they're doing this intentionally. This is the production and directors speaking up through their work. And I still agree that they did a masterful job. And if you keep watching, it does. There are a few questions about it, you know. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Every now and then, Ty, I was watching. I was like, so they just know they refer to Victor as he. Like it's easy for them. You know what I'm saying? In the universe they're in the 80s. These are folks that are not. It's not like these are progressive members. Like they came from the 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like this. You know, so it was just, you know. But I'm happy for it. In this series, also briefly, we did learn about another Umbrella Academy type group called the Sparrows, which I frankly think was hella dope, led by their number one, who is a fierce young black man who likes to walk around topless. Yeah, Steph. Whoops. Just calm down. What's Steph looking at? Steph's looking at the box. I think that's what it is. But yeah, so in this we get to kind of see them square off, and in this series, it's starting to feel more superhero, less X-Men. Before I felt like they had like a fraternity, Tyrone. Like it was kind of like they're into the superhero realm, but they don't consider themselves superheroes. They just have powers and they're in a house. Now they're starting to kind of, the 5 is meeting the 7 here, if you will. I kind of feel this way. Is this? I mean, what say you? What do you think about that, homeboy?
I like the idea that their shenanigans in season 2, you know, kind of changed the timeline to where this could be a thing. They were, literally raised as the anti-Umbrella Academy. You know what I mean? Just avoiding that whole thing. And I think X-Men is a good comparison here. You got these different groups who, like to consider themselves the best group of the groups, and it turns into a little bit of a pissing contest. I like it. It's fun. It's the powers that they come up with for this show are always so just like, it's never just surface level stuff. They're never like, oh, you can fly. You're super strong. It's not like that. There's always like some other stuff going on with it. So it's cool to see, and I like the powers of the Sparrow. Is it Sparrow Academy or just the Sparrows?
Sparrow Academy.
Sparrow Academy. Yeah, I like them. And it was my favorite is the one the girl who just spits on you basically, and then just messes with your head. Like that's the most wild power.
So gross.
Yeah.
It's like gleeking on you, basically. Like
gleeking, that's the word. I haven't heard that word since like 5th grade.
I know. That's why literally when she did it, I was like, did that bitch just gleek on them? I was like, oh. And Austin looked at me. He was like, gleek? I was like, you don't remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, I need to be. My software needs updating. Could you enlighten us folks from the 1900s?
Sure. Sure. Okay. So when I was like in middle school to high school, it was like the thing to like gleek on people, like to try and like gleek on your friends without them like knowing it was you. So to do that, you have to kind of like hold your tongue in the back of your mouth and like have the spit come out the side of like, you know, on the sides of your mouth. So it's like a whole thing. I can't really do it. My cousin was like the best at it. I like learned how to do it like after a while, but oh yeah, dude, that shit used to be so funny. Like you literally like just get someone on the hand, just like walk by them, they're like, what the fuck? Like looking up like, is that a bird or something? Yeah, it was great. It's pretty gross.
Yo,
To clarify, Vince, this is white people doing white people shit.
Listen, we're brown people doing white people shit. Whatever. Keep it
like,
up with them, beating them at their
black
own
people don't
games.
spit on
What's
each other.
up?
I'm just gonna put that out there. We don't spit on each other. Fake, playfully, none of that shit. We do not spit on each other at all. Like if you spit on me, we're fighting. It doesn't matter if you came out the
I'm
side
right
of
there
your mouth,
with you, bro. I'm right
funny-
there with you. I'm right
That's
there with you. I'm just
definitely-
saying that was just when before it became an insulting thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like the thing.
At some point in time, this was like a rite of passage. Like,
Yes, kind of. It's like
Yeah.
you know in high
Yeah.
school when you used to put like the freshmen in the trash can. You know, it was like kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, back in the day when people used to spit in your face and you would say, "And good afternoon to you, sir." Pretty normal.
I forgot which movie that was where like spitting was a form of respect. I forget
Ace
which
Ventura, When Nature Calls.
yeah, Ace Ventura. That's Austin's favorite fucking movie too. Oh, that's so gross.
Yes,
My
man,
devil.
you respect it. Yo, all right. Well, yeah, man. This was. I really like the incorporation. You can now. Here's a question that I have, and then we'll probably go ahead and move on because we still got like 3 dope ass shows to talk about. This question is revolving around the fact that we are now in Umbrella Academy season 3. The issue is that these Umbrella Academy attendants are now in a different timeline. In this timeline, they are no longer the lead, powerful folks of the world. It's these sparrows that are. They're in a different timeline. Now, this would insinuate that there's a multiple verse situation. And my question for everybody here, starting with Yaz, is are we getting multiverse fatigue? Are we starting to overload the world with content about multiverses? I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm a little old. I'm starting to like feel like it's being beat to death a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere there's I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog on PlayStation the other day. There's a Sonic verse. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a multiverse in almost everything now that's superhero related. And I don't know if we're going too far in that direction, Yaz. Are we doing too much multiverse stuff in the universe right now, man? Is it gonna is it too much?
I wouldn't say it's too much. I mean, I definitely think like we're definitely touching on it a lot, but I mean, like in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, the second one, or the end of the first one, they did knock the bad guy Jim Carrey into like another mushroom verse. So I mean, technically speaking, you know what I'm saying? Like there was they showed us that there was like alternate verses, you know what I'm saying, that like Sonic goes through. So he's he's a multi-dimensional like being.
Yeah.
So I mean, no matter what, we're gonna have multi-dimensional beings. That means that they're gonna be space traveling and they're gonna be going through different dimensions. So no matter what, we're gonna have that. But I see what you're saying. They can pick and choose when they want to deliver these characters to come into the limelight. And yes, we are getting a lot of those characters right now. But I mean, I'm not getting played out on them just because they're different variations of their own worlds and their own, you know what I'm saying, like their own settings. So it's not really for me like it's getting played out because Umbrella Academy does it way differently than Disney does it. You know what I'm saying? Like Paramount Plus with Sonic the Hedgehog does it differently than, you know what I'm saying, than Netflix does it. So I mean, yeah, we are getting a lot of variations of it, but it's all done in different contexts. So that I can appreciate at least.
Okay. All right. You calm me down a little bit. That does make sense. I mean, there's different variations of different universes. But I guess, I don't know. I just like, all right, there's a lot of, because even this show, Ty, we was talking about Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, that movie that came out this year. That's super dope. All right. I don't know if anybody has seen it. I don't know if you've heard of it, but I went to the theater to see this movie, even though it's already, I think, on Thai Fire Stick Special Order. Bro, I was not ready. And by the way, shout out to Michelle Yeoh who I believe should start to belong on the Mount Rushmore of kung fu artists or martial artists, period. And that includes with Jackie Chan, with Bruce Lee, with Jet Li, with all of them. Michelle Yeoh's name, I think, belongs up there, but that's a whole other subject. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of turn because I just think that almost everything we watch now has to do with the multiverse. So, but these
I don't think you're talking out of turn though, bro. I think it's just a testament to what sells. Like,
yeah, I was about to say that too.
At the end of the day, these companies that make these movies and these TV shows, they're in it to make profit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see a formula for something for success, you don't rock the boat. You just kind of just join the crew. So that's what a lot of these writers are doing. They're seeing what's selling, they're seeing what people are into, and then they're just doing their version of what they see.
Oh yeah, so we're witnessing marketing capitalism at its finest. They have latched on to something that is working, and they're saying, you know what, let's just use it in everything now. I think you cemented Marvel as the leader of this. Listen, even Star Trek, bro. Me and you, we're both watching Star Trek. There's a Star Trek verse now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gone all over the place. So I don't know. I think it's dope. But I really dig these characters, and I think that we'll dig deeper into this in weeks to come after folks have had a chance to kind of binge the whole thing. Not because we don't want to spoil it, but frankly, I can't because most of us ain't even seen the whole thing just yet. But I really dig that they did make this the Sparrows leader like a strong black dude. Like this dude was like, he's not just some puss ass, but like this motherfucker is like he damn near went toe to toe with Vanya. You know what I'm saying? He has the strength of Luther, but looks more like Mr. Vandross. Now let me stop. That was terrible. Terrible. But yeah, I dig that. I think Steph, I think it'll be worth cuddling up with Bay and maybe giving a few episodes for this season, maybe. But I don't know. It's up to you, man. I also I really like what's my man's name? The little I don't want to call him an ape. Like I'm so sensitive now. I don't even want to call. He identifies as a person. what's the
primate? You talking about why can't I think of his name either?
I can't think of his name either right now.
Yep.
The one who runs the house, though. Yes.
Yeah. Little, somebody in the comments will probably set it straight. By the way, shout out to the comments. What up? What up, Benny? What up? Lisa, as always. What up? Woodrow. Our favorite pie tussie is in the building. Woodrow. He's got my favorite president in his seriously black. What's going on, everybody? But yeah, man, let's keep up with this show, man. And maybe talk a little bit more about it a little bit in the future. But I would definitely say
Pogo. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Roberto. That's his name. Pogo.
Yes, thank you. Pogo was his name. All right, 10-4.
I don't think ape is a slur. I think ape. You can call a chimpanzee an ape. That's accurate.
I don't know, bro. I got a lot of ape friends, and they think it's a slur. All right,
you gotta watch out.
Call him a primate.
Anyway, yes, Umbrella Academy, we love you, man. Keep it up, man. We're gonna watch the whole thing and probably break down each and every part of it. One last question I do have about this though is, does my man have any powers like the dude with the knives, or does he just good with knives?
Who, Diego?
Yeah, Diego. I mean,
not just knives. It's not just knives. He's good with any. He's almost like Bullseye. So he
I was just about to say he's like Bullseye. He's good with like weapons.
Whatever he's aiming at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He just chooses knives. All right, cool. We'll go ahead and get off of that. All right, well, yeah, man. Well, thank you so much once again, Umbrella Academy. We're gonna keep it in. We're gonna check it out. I dare say, I would hope that we'll see what. It looks like Stephanie may be interested now, but who knows? We'll see. Let's go ahead and move on to another series that is killing it right now, and I'm gonna go to Ty for this one, and that is The Boys. We love The Boys. It is killing it. It is killing it. I want to small picture, my bad.
He's back.
They're not playing around. Mr. Love Sausage is in the building. I know you felt vindicated.
He said, "Can you get that thing away from my face?"
He's like, I believe you are familiar. All right, well,
Starlight.
let's just take a moment and just see how long it takes for us to get canceled. Now, look, it was on TV. It was on TV. What do you want us to do, man? It was on regular TV. But The Boys is back, bruh. And dare I say, once again, man, this show is second to none. There's nothing like it on TV. Ty, what you thought about this week's episode, homeboy?
Oh man, the same thing I think every week of the episodes. It's outrageous. It's hilarious. It's gruesome. It's amazing. Like this is the best show, hands down. And I say this every week on television right now. It's killing it. It's killing it. It's killing it. This episode was no different. It spoke to a lot of the things that we've been predicting each week. Of what's gonna happen when Homelander and Soldier Boy actually meet. Where does where's MM fit into all of this? What is he gonna do? Who's teaming up? And we got a lot of answers this week. And I'm just super excited for this show. I cannot wait to just watch next week and the following week, and it's ridiculous. I love it.
All right. Yeah, I love it too. Yes, you watched it, I'm assuming, right?
Of course I watched it. What do you mean?
What give us a breakdown of what happened on this week's episode, man. Just real quick, run down. You're normally pretty good with details.
Okay, so man, we got our epic battle between Soldier Boy and Homelander, definitely. And it wasn't exactly as we thought it was going to be. There was some crazy shit going on. We got to see a superhero orgy. That was fucking disgusting. Yeah, definitely gross. The Wonder Twins or TNT, the fact that he hit a camera in the fucking toilet bowl makes me really like question a lot of things about that man. Like, why the fuck you want to be watching people while they're going to the shit? Like the angle of it was just like, why? You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to know. And why did his sister know that he was doing that? Another thing. Did she stick her head in there? Don't want to know. So, that was pretty gross, but definitely, tension was rising between Starlight and Huey. We got to see them have their first official Bay fight. It was great. There was some super action in it. So, yeah, that was pretty awesome. But this series is just getting fucking crazier and crazier by the episode. And I gotta admit, I'm all for it. I mean, it's pretty raunchy for sure. Like, definitely don't let your fucking kids peep in, and ask you a question while it's going on, because they'll be haunted forever, literally. But it's great. It's a great fucking show, and I'm loving where they're going this season. I can't wait to see what we're gonna be ending off with. I'm praying to have another season though after this, because I can't be done after the season.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to a whole nother level. Now, I know, Steph, you're a little new on this show. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch any of them at all. I'm curious, and I always love to hear your feedback if you have any knowledge of The Boys and what you think about it thus far, if anything.
So I watched all of season 1. I actually really enjoyed it, but I am having a hard time finding opportunities to catch up because, one, I have to be in a certain mood for that shit. I have to be emotionally prepared. It is not feel-good television, and I have to be ready in my spirit to receive any kind of nonsense and fuckery. 2, I tend to watch television when I'm eating, and I will not do it. I'm not going to attempt to eat dinner while watching The Boys. So I have to find a time that I'm already happy, not eating, and have free time. And those 3 things just haven't crossed over.
So
it's not a show you could just watch whenever. You can't.
I mean,
and I don't want to watch it in public, like at the gym or walking or something, because somebody could look over my shoulder and be traumatized for life. I don't want to be responsible.
That would be great, actually.
I would love. So, Steph, you surprised me. I ain't gonna lie. Like you said, you actually liked the show the first season. Just what did you like about it? I'm just curious.
I love superheroes. I really love superheroes. I actually really enjoy villains. I feel strongly that villains are just superheroes who follow their own rules. And I enjoyed seeing what it would really look. I feel like The Boys is the most realistic superhero show out there. People are terrible. at their root, like humanity is just awful. All these beautiful superheroes sacrifice themselves. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. If humans had superheroes, they would have a lot of sex and do a lot of very selfish things. That is what would really happen. And I feel like The Boys is a realistic portrayal of if humans were able to have superpowers. And it's why I'm glad we're not. Because I don't look at America right now. Without superpowers, we are destroying each other. So yeah.
Yeah. What up, cuz? Good to see you out there, man. Yeah, man, I agree with you. I mean, this season, I believe, is and you're right, Tyrone. She's basically stating the reason why Ty said he loved the show in the beginning, because this is what the real deal would be if motherfuckers really had superheroes. All this whole benevolent, let's meet up in the sky in Stark Tower bullshit. It's like, nah, bro, nah. You got people that are going to be one way on camera. They're going to want their likes to go up. They're going to want, you know what I'm saying? But they're going to be a completely different way off camera. You know what I'm saying? I think Stormfront was almost one of the perfect versions of that. Mm-hmm. But this particular season, I think they've gone a step further by giving the regular people powers, which is showing also what they would be if they had the powers as well. So I don't know, bro. You saw this most recent episode, right? Anything stand out in this episode for you?
Yeah, I think what Steph said is absolutely true. You know, it shows, you know, the worst of the worst, and how just generally speaking, people given that amount of power are just going to be bad. I do like that they've kind of let Starlight be the you know, sort of the moral compass, where she's just like, look, I can't do this anymore. This is broken. It's all terrible. You know, I might die, but I'm gonna fight it. Like that's you know, it's I enjoyed that you know, kind of that hard stance on it. You know, no more clandestine kind of stuff. Now it's I'm on the right side of this. Anybody who's in the gray area, or you know, going further than the gray area, you're on the wrong side of it. And so it's, you know, it gives us a little bit of hope. Like there's a little bit of hope that there might be somebody good with some sort of power who could help, or, you know, at least guide people. So that was a big takeaway from the last episode. I mean, obviously it was absolutely crazy. I'm interested in what's happening with Frenchie and Kimiko, only because this seemed like a really interesting sort of like, you know, speed bump in it. Yeah, where they look like they were taking a hard turn in one direction, but now it's sort of it's blurry again. And I'm interested to see how this, because I frankly don't think Frenchie's going to make it through this season. I think that he might be somebody who's one of them is going to go. I think, but I feel like it's going to be Frenchie. There will be a season 4, by the way. They already announced it, so there is going to be a season 4, but I just don't think Frenchie's going to be in it. And it's, I think we're just like slowly tiptoeing towards a very sad day for the Boys fans.
Wow, what the hell makes you think that, bro?
Right, thank you. Why are you trying to kill off Frenchie?
I didn't see anything like that.
It's the very kind of like trope thing that they're doing now. They have a way of like starting a trope and then misdirecting and going into a new direction. And you know, the Boys does do that. But for me, once he was like, after this one job, we're gonna run away together. Like anytime that shit goes down in a show or a movie, you just punch your ticket out of here. Like one of you is not making it. Yeah, the ride off into the sunset thing. So I have no like actual knowledge that this is gonna happen, but based on what I'm seeing, it's not looking good.
Yeah, I agree with Tyrone, and I'll go a step further and say that Kimiko or Frenchie don't make it to the next season. They might both die. You saw in the last episode how far Kimiko is willing to go for Frenchie. She literally damn near got herself killed trying to save him, and vice versa. And so I definitely believe that energy, that love for each other is going to get them both killed. Because typically in movies, that's what gets you killed. You know, is the love for another person, or you know what I'm saying, you try to save them. Oh, I don't want you to, you know, and yeah. So I agree with Tyrone. And just a PSA announcement. I was able to get a couple of doses of temporary V. And just because y'all are my boys and y'all my people, I just want to let y'all know, don't come to my house unless you are ready for me to open the door with my dick. I'm just saying right now, don't come to the house unless you're ready. I'm just saying. My superpower. There's another love sausage in the building.
Oh my God, yo!
And
So you gonna be? Oh yeah, you're Thai sausage. Is that your new name?
I'm the original love sausage.
Come on, man. Yo, you want to hear something funny, yo? All right, so we were sitting there talking about. First of all, the fact that there is a hero-gasm, or whatever that thing is called, is crazy. And the funny thing about it is, I don't read boys comics, but I'm looking. I was looking it up, and sure enough, this is not something that they did for the screen. Like something that they took out of the comic. But I was sitting here because Stephanie said that she was like, this is how people would actually be in real life, and I was like, yo, she's like, she wanted to see what it'd be like, and I was trying to Google an image of mother's milk covered in poop, and when I put mother's milk covered in cum in my phone, wow. I didn't get like one picture of Laz Alonso. Let me just say, I did not get one picture of the real mother's milk. I saw a bunch of other stuff.
That's why we were late this morning. Vince was doing research a little too hard.
Oh my God.
Hard ain't the word. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little taken aback at the fact that I didn't even realize that I was putting in porn words, like keywords like mother's milk, bukkake.
Oh my God, ew.
Just
yo, this happened. Yo, don't ill me. This is the show this is why we love the show, right? Because they go there. Because they're not afraid to go there.
Oh, girl, he was like, when someone gets slimed, you know what I'm saying? He got slimed.
Yeah, splooged. Like he looked like a powdered donut. He was good. Yeah.
Hey, the tick dude came back too. We got a special surprise from that dude. He got a little slimy shit on his jacket at first. That was the pre-cum, and then the splash.
None of this sounds appealing. None of this.
What? How do you not think it's
We're at an orgy, Stephanie. Keep your mind open, okay?
Yeah, come on, Steph. Like
superhero orgy.
Come on, Steph.
You guys realize termite came out of that girl, right? That's that's why he was all wet, right?
Yeah, that the lady with wearing the red, that was laying on the couch.
It just come out of that girl.
That's why I told Austin. I was like, oh, he just came out that bitch. Ew.
He was like, oh, what is this, homie? What is this, homie?
He's like, this is my favorite jacket. It's slimy.
He answered the door with his dick, Steph. Like his dick came out of this freaking. His dick was right there, and Liza, yo, mother's milk was familiar. He's like, yo, I know that dick.
He was like, not you again. Not you again.
He had already had an encounter with the same dick. So, hold on, man, that dick looks familiar. Hold on, let me see this. Yo, bro,
remembered him too. The dick remembered him too.
The dick remembered him.
Like, don't I know you?
Yep. He said, you look awfully familiar.
I miss you, buddy. Oh, I'll never forget a neck. Because remember, he was around. Steph, I don't know if you realize it this whole time, but look closer at this picture. And if you notice, there's a piece of human anatomy that mother's milk.
This was on my personal Facebook page, and I'm gonna have to take this shit down. I'm taking this. I apologize if anyone is watching this on my page. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to take this down
right now.
Don't take it down, yo. Represent, man. It is new.
I wasn't prepared to have a giant superhero stretch penis on my personal Facebook
only if you zoom in real close and you've seen the episode, you know what it is. Otherwise, it looks like he's getting choked out by like some rope or something. You know what I'm saying? You're good. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, it's a rope. It's definitely a
rope. Tell the kids. It'll be fine.
This is the nude blurred order. It is all nudity all the time. Nah, bro, Steph. Look, can we keep it real? What you said at the very beginning when you was talking about the boys is exactly why we love the fact that they do this. Oh, my bad. That's why we love the fact that they do. Oh, look, did you see? Did you see the boy? Yo, even the. Oh my God, my brain is so tormented, man. This looked like it came out of the same. Anyway, stop. Yeah, one of the things we love the fact that. When it starts, you can't stop it. Like you were saying, Steph, what we love about The Boys is that it gives us a realistic depiction of what's happening with folks with superhero powers. And one thing that Marvel has not done, one thing that Star Wars has not done, DC, none of them have really, really, truly done, is show us what it's like to be a freak, like a sexual deviant freak as a superhero. There's no sexuality, period, in the Marvel universe. I mean, even with Vision and Wanda.
I wouldn't. Don't go too far with that, because they might not be as explicit, but they get freaky. Like, yeah, they get not in the MCU, but like in the comics and shit. Like there's a lot of precedent for freaky shit in the comics.
Yeah, well, the comic books, yeah. Well, even in the comic books, bro. Look, what comic book in Marvel is there a hero-gasm? Bro, the newest X-Men shit, like in Krakoa and stuff, like they're out there having like parties and there's thruples and there's people getting like it's crazy out in Krakoa. And just as another example, when I read what was it, Avengers Disassembled, it starts with Hawkeye talking about who he'd fuck. Like he's just like listing villains that he would like to go to bed with, like so there's freaky shit. All right, they're out there giving it. At which point in time did Hawkeye whip out his dick and put it around and answer a door?
Oh yeah. I submit that they are not as explicit. You're not going to see a Marvel heroes. Yeah, but they gets freaky.
They teeter on it. They tease on it. But in The Boys, we get to fully envelop ourselves in a world in which they are not holding anybody. Look, Steph, one of the dudes' name is I almost called him Tyrone. Termite. All right. Now Termite has like biological Ant-Man powers. He can go big, he can go small. Now, when you first think of Ant-Man going into the quantum zone, which is the reason why you wanted to be Felicia. What was her name again? What was Miss Yvette Nicole Brown's character?
Phyllis Jenkins.
When they went to back then, because Ant-Man went to the quantum zone and they went back in time, they had to try to get him out of there. That quantum zone, imagine it was a person. And Ant-Man had flown inside of them for pleasure purposes. That's what the termite does. The termite is like a human sex toy, so to speak. He can fly in your orifice. Yeah, this might be a good time to go and unlink this from your personal page.
Well, I've been did that.
I think your mom maybe knows one. But yeah, like, so he can go into any of your orifices, male or female, all right, and tickle you from the inside, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that.
Question. How come we got to see inside of a male like penis, but we didn't get to see inside of a woman's vagina? I'm a little upset.
I know, right?
Thank you.
I'm a little upset right now. I feel like The Boys. I'm outraged. This is sexist. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
you. How dare you?
There's a lot of
inside of a penis. And
I just want to see what. I just want to see like. That's it. They could just show me that. It's like. They could just show me that.
Yo.
Yeah,
that's how you would go into. That's how you go.
I mean, you got things you got to move. So depending on how tall he is when he goes in, and how much space he has, he's got to like, or like. Look how serious Stephanie and Tyrone's face is right now.
Hey, man,
backstroke. Yo,
look, I was
swimming into
oh my God.
Wow. Just dive in, homeboy.
I'm with you, Yaz. I'm with Yaz when it comes to the strong emphasis on penises this season. Because they like I swear it's like episode. It's like an episode, skip an episode, penis. Episode, skip an episode, penis. Like it's been like that this whole season.
Like,
there's
I'm
very
sorry, they showed
emphasis on
us
it.
Huey naked, all these dudes and chicks naked and stuff like
Dudes
that. You know
walking
what I'm saying?
around
Yeah, like
naked,
just
like-
just straight penises walking around. You know, I seen the ticks that dude that went inside the dude's like, you know, like killed him that way. We seen him naked like how many fucking times? I ain't seen nobody go into vaginas though. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw a dude like make a fucking icicle out of a fucking dildo and then like, you know, just shove it in some bitch's shit and she screamed, but like there was no vaginas.
We didn't see
like,
it, right? We didn't get to see it.
yeah, and it was just like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why y'all hating on the vagina? You can't get a nice vagina on? Like, you know what I'm saying? There's porn stars for a reason. Like, just saying.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
I will sign that petition. Yaz, if you want to go on that hill and raise this,
I will run up that hill.
no vag, no
Just kidding.
Minnie's completely stupid.
Just saying.
And
I'll make sure that says that. Look at Stephanie's face.
And what's up with,
right now,
what's up with Huey?
you're
Vag
trending right
lives matter. That's all I'm saying. Okay?
Steph's face matters right now. This is definitely not the Steph Ray question of the day that she was asking for. But yeah, man. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of dildos. There's a lot of crazy stuff. Last season, we even saw Homelander and Stormfront have like rough superhero sex, which was like really weird. And again, my purpose isn't to linger on the absurdity and the obscenity of it. It's just to express once again that Stephanie was right. Like there are so many things from a superhero perspective that we don't get from the main brands, the Marvel, DC. Even I know in the comic book they mention who they have sex with and stuff, but like I don't know anywhere else right now where we're gonna get a dick that answers the door. Where we're gonna
I would have loved to see some dude just going like this, trying to like go sideways into a vagina. Like, you know, that would have been like just, you know, stimulate while we go. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, like something. It would have made my day, like 100%.
Yo, hold on, we gotta take a break. My stomach.
From now on, I'm going into every vagina like this, like the vagina.
I'm crying. I'm sorry. All right.
Yo, we have look at Steph and Tyrone. They decided to just stop and just do their
I'm sorry. I'm crying. Look, I'm crying. Oh God.
I don't have anything. I've never seen a vagina or a penis, so I don't have anything to add.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm a good boy.
We gotta break that into a clip, yo. I swear that'll get 1 million views. That was so great. Oh God. I'm crying right now laughing.
That's the new sign. That's the new sign. Like, if you go out in public and you do this, you just wait for the response. Anybody?
Oh God! I bet Daniel and Phoenix are happy they didn't join on our podcast.
Yeah, watch out for Daniel. Real quick, Daniel and Phoenix, we were going to join us this morning. I think we're going to do it next week. We had some technical difficulties at the beginning. Sorry. But yeah, we're glad that Daniel is still here, y'all.
I'm crying. I'm sorry. You can go back to PhD, guys. I'm sorry.
Stephanie's like, okay. I got things to do.
Listen, these were questions in my reviews book, okay? These were the questions I needed answered. I am sorry, Stephanie, but I needed those answered.
Stephanie stopped making eye contact with us.
Stephanie like, Yaz is another female, but I'm just not going to look at her right now because I don't want to be inside of a vagina right now.
All right. So let's dial back some of the dick humor here. I'm sorry for Steph's fans who may have seen that inadvertently. And even to the pastors and ministers and the politicians on my page. My apologies. What's going on, Ty?
Did anybody else die laughing when Starlight described to the sausage the sausage guy when she said, "Oh, he's with me. Yeah. Oh, he's really good at cunnilingus. He just be on it like."
I was dying.
She was like, "Oh, he just be like,
He goes, okay.
No, and I
started dying.
Yeah, I mean, you know. All right. All right, so can we let's do this a little bit because we only got like an hour left. So let's talk about other than the hero-gasm, which frankly, I'm sorry, this episode was.
And we're back.
Sorry. Just look at, she's so embarrassed. Like I get the sense that Steph was like, guys, I had this podcast that I'm on. It's on Saturdays. Look, just check it out. It's really cool. We don't talk about anything vulgar or anything obscene or sexual or anything. It's more than just superhero stuff. And then we pull up and it's like, by the way, did you see the way that Love Sausage Dick was on the shoulder? and then we got the new secret entrance. Yo, it's popping. Yo, come on, man. Listen, we're both personal. Don't you dare kink shame us, all right? For us trying to just express ourselves outwardly, all right? We just being our natural, authentic selves.
Oh shit! Stop! You gotta stop. We gotta move on. I'm about to start crying. We gotta move on.
Can we just normalize? Can we just normalize Dick answering the front door from now on? Can we just normalize it? Like
I can't.
I do it like this though, because the thumb's gotta work it too.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Hey. Squad up, bro. Squad up.
Squad up, baby.
This is how we get that.
He's like, I'm not doing that. Like, no.
I'm doing that shit. I'm going out in public as soon as we get off this shit, and I'm out here like this. And I'm waiting to see what happens. Like,
watch, he's gonna come out the room like, Amy,
can I get a bite?
let me try.
Can I get a bite?
Look, it's wet.
Baby, if you're watching the show, hey, after the show, baby.
Yo, I swear, bro. Yo, we're like Stephanie's cousins that she's too embarrassed to bring around her corporate friends because we all like smoke dumb shit. And she's, I have cousins. They're cool, but they're in the parking lot right now. Don't worry about them.
Listen, you can tell your friends. I'm almost 30, so next year I'll get my shit together. Okay, I'll be more professional. But this year we going out like this.
All right. We've lost the West Wing over here, guys. Let me get back. No, Steph!
Oh my God!
Oh, that's not crying.
All right. We'll take a break. All right. Sorry.
All right. Sorry, guys.
All right.
Big heart. Sorry.
So in Dick's nest, in this nest. All right.
Dicks on your mind. Got a lot of dicks on your mind, I see.
All right. I'm just sorry. It's just a very freaky show today. All right. Anyway, outside of the hero-gasm, we did actually witness a very. Steph is like, why does he keep? All right. Let me delete that picture off of here. How do you delete this? How do you keep this off? Hold on. Let me hit the delete. Alt, Control Alt. All right, and it's gone. All right. So anyway.
You're going to have us all in Facebook jail with Minnie.
We should be okay, hopefully. Well, anyway.
We'll be all right.
So this episode was significant. There were actually 3 things specifically in this episode that I think I like to pinpoint that were pivotal. All right. The first we already mentioned, and that's the fact that Starlight and Huey had their first little spat, right? Like they actually, which is significant because they're supposed to be like the moral compasses of the show, right? And for them to be together, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's cool. The other thing is that Homelander and first of all, I think I was right. I think y'all owe me an apology because last week I said Homelander was afraid of Soldier Boy, and he was afraid of him. Like he wasn't necessarily afraid of him powers wise, but he was afraid of the impact of him being back. We learned in this episode that he's like looks up to this dude. Like he's like, I watched you growing up as a kid. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. And now he has to face this dude. And so that was very significant as well. And the other thing I think, and they're not limited to these. But the other thing is that I don't know if Kimiko needed her powers. You know what I'm saying? Like, did we just learn that she may not have been super strong, but she's a freaking whole badass, even without the ability to heal, even without the superpowers and all that stuff. It's another very pivotal thing that happened in this episode. But I want to focus on this Homelander thing. Tyrone, you saw the Homelander fight. Did it deliver? Are we satisfied with what happened here and that whole situation that went down with the house? What's your thoughts about it, Brett?
I was surprised that they gave us, an actual fight this early in the show, this early in the third season. It was pretty contained. I feel like it was pretty low stakes when it all came down to it. I mean, it was cool to see him go at it a little bit. When they had Homelander to the point where he had to basically just like run was fun to see. But yeah, I mean, I don't know where they go from here. Like if there's now going to be a bigger fight, or it's kind of hard to see what they're setting up here, which I think is intentional. They try to be vague and they try to kind of throw you off the trail and stuff like that. But for me, it wasn't what I thought a Homelander versus Soldier Boy situation would look like. There was a lot more punching than I thought there'd be, but I think that's just what what we can expect when it's not the knockdown drag out. Overall, I would say as a leading up to this point, as a meeting to finally see it happen, a little bit underwhelming, but still fun.
Yeah. Ty, what do you think?
Well, I mean, Soldier Boy is a knockoff version of Captain America, so you can't really expect him to do much more than punch, or use the shield. He doesn't fly or anything like that, so there's no expectations outside of that. I think to Tyrone's point about where this could go, one of the really important scenes of this episode was the scene where Homelander has a conversation with his subconscious, and in that moment, his subconscious lets him know that there's parts of him that we need to get rid of in order for the full version, for your full potential to be reached. And we end that conversation, and then move into the next scene. So what I think is that after having that conversation and also finding himself vulnerable, I think he is going to totally commit and totally tap into that the getting rid of the human side, a human element of himself, which will make him basically unstoppable. And it's going to require a joined effort by all of them to even do anything to him. But I don't think he's going to allow himself to be that vulnerable again. Whether he goes and recruits other superheroes to protect him, or at least have his back. That because right now it looks like the team is pretty much dismantled. There is no Nor. Maeve is locked up, as far as we know. Starlight just quit. The Deep is preoccupied having sex with his octopus. So that pretty much leaves him with no one to have his back, and I think for him that's not gonna be acceptable. So I think it was cool to see this fight now, just because it shows how powerful Homelander is. It took Soldier Boy, who was deemed the most powerful superhero at one point. It took Butcher, and it took Huey, all to just hold him down, and even then, they still were not able to keep him down. So I think the fully non-human side of Homelander is what we're going to see moving forward, and him not, now that what you call it is dropped the all the information, Starlight, and told everybody who Homelander is and what Vought's doing. He has nothing else to lose, which makes him very, very, very dangerous at this point. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna see is the version of him that no longer has a sense of humanity.
I mean, right? Go ahead, Tyrone.
Oh no, I was just nodding. Yeah.
Okay. There's a funny, weird thing going on in this season that is Homelander clearly stepping into the role of politics. You know what I'm saying? Like, not. I mean, he took Old Boy's role from him at Vought, but now
Edgar.
like, yeah. What was his name again?
Stan
Edgar.
Hector. He took his role. Edgar. And
Edgar, yeah.
So Eddie took Edgar's role, and now he's kind of learning that there's more involved with Vought than he thought originally. But he's also on the second time now in this episode outwardly become visibly frustrated with the public. In this episode, he was on the couch with Starlight, and he was like, "Look, I said everything was all right. I said it's under control. What the fuck? You know, blah blah blah." And again, are we channeling Trump? I mean, are we doing? Is this just me having that political vision and not being able to separate it? But it still feels like they're trying to kind of like make this guy into like a version of Trump, and you know, and blue whatever his name is like Blue Lives Matter represented, which is another topic we wanted to talk about. That was another thing that was significant in this episode, is that my man A-Train finally y'all been wanting this dude to be out for the longest, but A-Train finally seems to have made his demise. Now I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think he's dead at all. I'm almost certain of it.
You hear no heartbeat.
Yeah, but he doesn't. But these are superheroes, bro. Like, you can bring back their heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that should have exploded in his chest. How are you gonna bring it back? Can't bring back no artificial heart after it explodes. He's dead.
Is he dead, Tyrone?
I wouldn't assume he's dead. That's not going to be the last time we see A-Train.
Damn it.
Nah, A-Train. As much as I hate A-Train, and it would have been the best episode ever if he would have actually died. Nah, ain't no come on, man. That motherfucker deserves to die. But I hate that dude. Like, even despite the fact that was your brother. Like, first of all, if you killed not even killed my brother, but if you paralyzed my brother for life, and then I saw you, I don't have no words for you, bro. I'm not explaining to you what I'm about to do to you. I'm doing it. Like, soon as I see you on sight, and like he did what he was supposed to do, which I said last week. He had to kill that motherfucker. There was no, you did that to my brother. That's not just a regular person I can get over. That's my brother. So he had to kill him. That part I knew was going to happen. But to kill himself in the mist would have just been epic. That would have been the best part of the boys show for me. Just die. Just go ahead and die. But to y'all's point, I don't think he's dead at all. I think he's gonna at some point come back and annoy me.
Steph, are you familiar with the plight of A-Train yet? Have you watched the first series?
Mm-hmm.
Do you hate? I mean, I know you're not caught up, but do you get a sense of that first season that A-Train deserves the hatred that Ty is launching his way?
Yes.
He was pretty terrible. Yeah. He was pretty awful.
Okay, well, hold on, but what about the words redemption? Like, in this episode, he didn't just kill himself. He also vociferously apologized to Huey about that incident that made Huey want to join the boys when he exploded his girlfriend. And I mean, yeah, you can say, well, you're an asshole because it's happening to you now. So now all of a sudden, which is basically what old girl said. She was like, look, you asshole. This shit's been happening. And all of a sudden you want to have feelings because it impacts you. Fuck you. Yes, I said it. Fuck you. That's what she said, by the way. I'm not saying that to you.
Ashley killed that shit. That was fire.
And she's coming up, by the way. That actress, I've seen her in a couple things. But in this particular instance, I feel like we might be watching the transition of A-Train to being one of the boys. I think that's what's happening. They're going to realize they can use him. He still has an in with Homelander to an extent, even though he doesn't like him. And he has purpose. Like Negan says, people are resources. and I think that they're not going to just kill him off, man. I mean, not only that, I'm gonna take it a step further. He's the only black person on the show right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the only prominent. Yes, Black Noir. I get it. I know Minnie's coming in with Black Noir in a
What
second.
about Mother's Milk?
Right.
Excuse me. I meant with powers.
Superhero, like.
Right. He's the only black superhero with powers. He's only superhero. He's only superhero. He's only. You know what I'm trying to say, man. Hey, watch out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't start this bullshit.
I mean, is he a super? I mean, yeah, like if Black Noir is black, by the way, also.
I know he's gonna come in with that, but Black Noir is in this suit, and we never get to see him, hear him. All right, so forget that. He's the only one visibly representing people with powers of color, not of color, but black. Man, shut up, man. You know what I was trying to say, bro. You're just trying to confuse me, bro.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, that's why I hate him so much, is because he doesn't represent us at all. Like, that's like he's the first candidate in the Get Out program. Like, that's who that is who A Train is. He was the first candidate in the Get Out program. That is a 75-year-old white man trapped in that body, and he like there's no way that you sit there and do the things that he do. From New Jersey. You literally are cowtailing to a guy who hates you. You've gotten multiple people killed trying to be this dude's little underling, and he still hates you. Your first episode, the first thing he did was
Kill Huey's
girlfriend.
Yeah.
That was the first thing. Like, when the first thing we encounter him, he literally splatters a human being, and it's just like, oh, sorry about that. Like, boom, you know.
Well, yeah.
Like, dude,
So
it was
what?
fucked up on V and running around like.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Murder somebody, cold blood.
You didn't really care about that girl like that, man. It don't matter.
Well,
man.
that's basically what Ashley was saying to him. She was like, well, fuck you. Now you care. You know what I'm saying? Like go fuck yourself. Like, now it's a big thing. Like, you killed that girl. You killed the claw bitch too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been covering it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now when it happens to him, when it hits him at home, you know, now he gives a damn. Now it's like, oh, you better do something about it. That's why Ashley was like, fuck you. Yeah, I said it. I mean, she ripped out a whole wad of hair before she did it, you know, like, goddamn. But yeah, that bitch should be bald. How much hair should be yanking out of her fucking head? I'm just saying, like, that damn. But yeah, I mean, A-Train, he's got it coming since day one, since the opening scene. We've seen this motherfucker. Okay, he's had it coming. He is just like the epitome of just like self-involved. You know what I'm saying? He don't give a fuck about anybody like around him unless it's like got to do with his, you know, somebody he's initiating with. You know what I'm saying? Like, his brother, he wasn't concerned about, you know, the community and ever helping his brother out until, like, you know what I'm saying, it became a thing for him to help his image. So, and then look what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, all right. Well, humor me here, and then we got to move on because we still got two things to cover. Is there any way possible that there is a group outside of the boys and outside of Vought that could be formed here? I'm starting to see with Starlight saying fuck Vought, and she's not really cool with Huey right now. And now we've got what I think is a injured A-Train. I don't think he's dead. I frankly think that he's going to come back to life even stronger and possibly even give his brother powers, or his brother's going to be instrumental in his rehabilitation. Is it possible that we may see a season 4 with an A-Train character that you guys are finally like, all right, you know what? He's redeemed himself. He's trying. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the dude was poisoned by fame. All right, let me say this. This is a terrible analogy. Tyrone, I'm asking you. All right, am I doing that thing?
Oh, no. Go ahead. Yeah, no, I just had something to add when you're done.
Go ahead. Add it now. I want to say.
Oh, no, I think there's a part of the A-Train story that we're not addressing, and it's that A-Train thought that if he was popular enough, if he was powerful enough or rich enough, that he would be treated as an equal in this company and in this society. But what he's realizing is that no matter what happens, no matter what he does, no matter who he betrays, whatever, he's still going to be, considered a lesser than because he's black. Yes. And that's something that's kind of the story that they're telling right now, is that A Train has sold out everybody to be considered, part of the group at Vought. But if you notice, whenever Homelander needs anything from Ashley, or whenever the Deep needs anything, Ashley's right there, like, hey, yeah, I got your back, whatever. But as soon as A Train was like, hey, here's this issue that I'm dealing with, she's like, hey, fuck off. Like, there are mitigating circumstances that make me feel this way, but everybody has those moments. Like, everybody's been a murderer, everybody's been doing wrong shit, but she has the balls to say to A Train, nah, we don't need you, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I think, so less so than a redemption story, or more so than a redemption story. It's what they're showing us is that this kind of reminds me of sort of like a Kanye situation, where you know how Kanye got to a certain point and all of a sudden he starts saying crazy shit, and he slavery was a choice Kanye, like MAGA hat Kanye, like that kind of thing. Like, that's how I'm seeing A Train's story playing out, to where all of a sudden, like, there's no amount of money that is going to erase your blackness, and there's no amount of money that is going to to make you an equal in the eyes of a white supremacist. So that's part of the story that I think has the potential to redeem A Train. Is when he makes that realization. He's like, okay, I've been playing this game, and the rules and the game is rigged. So now what does it look like on the other side of this revelation? I think that's kind of what I'm seeing, that like, it's all of the A Train centric stuff. Like, yeah, it's, he's an asshole. He sucks. He's sold out his people. He sold out his family, like that kind of stuff. But it is speaking to a bigger issue, that there is a way out, and it's this way. But we know that's not the case.
Tyrone, thank you so much, bro. Thank you. Because hating ass niggas like Ty, you know what I'm saying, and Yaz, you know what I'm saying, I want to give a nigga damn break in this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? You know how many assholes are on this show, but the only one they want to kill is the black one, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, there's Homelander, a dude literally exploded somebody in his dick, and they weren't talking about, oh, we got to kill the termite, but they want to kill this dude. Now, I'm playing around. Like, I see that Yaz and Ty's face got real story.
No. Like, your rant is brilliant. I love it, but it's not true.
Here's what I want to say. Here's what I keep thinking, and again, and Tyrone led into this, because not only are they like, yo, no, we don't give a fuck about you, black man, but they also have those few phrases and sayings that we get when we want justice, like, oh yes, oh well, I put my Instagram was a black screen, you know what I'm saying? And Black Lives Matter, my favorite hashtag, and we, and look, Blue Thunder or whatever the fuck his name is, he showed up with a $10,000 check, you know what I'm saying, as if to say, look, shut up, I'm gonna give y'all some money. So there's they've included the appeasement in this series. But what I wanted to just bring some light on to is this young man named Malcolm Little. Stephanie, you know who Malcolm Little is, right? Oh, Stephanie's ordering breakfast. You know who Malcolm Little is, Stephanie? Can't you hear me? Are we in the same internet? Stephanie, are you familiar with a man named Malcolm Little?
Don't play with me, Vince. Don't play games.
Okay. Could you tell Yaz who Malcolm Little is? Just, I don't know if she knows who that is.
Malcolm X.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So, but Malcolm X wasn't always Malcolm X, right? At one point in time, he was Malcolm Little.
And he was red.
He was called Red. He had red hair. He used to what's the word? Straighten his hair. What's the correct term for relax? He used to relax his hair and fuck with a lot of white women and went to jail over it. All right. Now, he ended up being one of the most instrumental human rights activists. Some would say civil, I'm gonna say human rights activists in the United States, point blank period. But he had to go through that bullshit before he could transition into becoming the man that we now know as Malcolm X. I know it's a stretch to say A Train is Malcolm X. Okay? All right? I know it's a huge stretch. However, is it possible that on the other end of the first 20 or so years of A Train's life, there is a retribution there's redemption. There is a forward-thinking new civil rights master who's now working on behalf of the culture, which I think is what they're setting up. Even though he started off so fucked up, that could potentially be best for the culture. That's all I'm saying. Am I wrong in thinking that perhaps Malcolm Little's way to getting to Malcolm X was also the way A Train may become, who knows, X Train? I don't know. I'm just, am I tripping, Steph? I mean, why am I giving this dude so much?
Yes, you are. I think that an A Train Black redemption story is possible, but I don't think Malcolm X deserves to be anywhere in this conversation with A Train. Or rather, A Train does not deserve to be in a conversation with Malcolm X. I don't see why you pulled that brother into this.
Well, I'm not trying to compare. I'm not saying that A Train is Malcolm X. I'm just saying, like, in terms of character arc and development, and coming from, Malcolm X didn't have Martin Luther King type of humble beginnings where he grew up in the church, he's an alpha. Like, this dude was he was chasing white chicks. He was curling. He was a whole asshole to it. I mean, he, like, Dr. Umar would give him the whole brow. You know what I'm saying? But then he changed and became what he is. I'm not trying to say A Train is Malcolm X. I'm just saying that beginnings aren't always the ends. And I just don't know if A Train's his whole story has been told.
Well, the show threw that conversation in there too. The show, he at one point was like, "I'm Michael Jordan. I'm not Malcolm X," and kind of establishing sort of like the, where he is versus where he may one day hope to be. That kind of a thing. So, that they choose their words wisely, and I think that when they put that in there, it was very intentional. So I only say that to to absolve Vince of putting the Malcolm X comparison in there. They dropped it in there, and so he's just, this isn't a faux pas by Vince. I would say.
Okay. See.
I'm going to argue his absolution because for the simple fact that since you wanted to bring up Malcolm Little's, story, you must also discuss his origin and what he went through as a small child that led him up to what his activities were prior to him becoming Malcolm X. He grew up in a time of racial violence. I know, right? His father was killed right in front of him. So those things are traumatic, to say the least. A Train, we don't have a backstory like that. A Train, from what we know, A Train has had powers for a very long time, which does separate him from normal human beings. Once he was elevated into the position of the Seven, he became very arrogant, or he was already arrogant, because from what I understand, powers don't make you who you are; they just reveal who you are. And so the things that you're trying to give him credit for, and not necessarily give him credit for, but the things that you're trying to say that could potentially give him a redemption story, these are all self-inflicted wounds. The difference between Malcolm Little was he was a victim of his circumstances. And so these are two totally different scenarios. And furthermore, death to him. Fuck him. Like Ashley said, I don't want no redemption stories for this guy, man. He made us look terribly bad, terribly. But I would rather forget that he ever existed than have to remind ourselves that, hey, he once was a bad guy, and now look at him, he's doing so well. No, fuck him. Let him die, and let's find us a black. Matter of fact, kill him, give the powers that he had to his brother, and let him represent us in the way that we thought we should be represented in the first place. But this idea that like he has a redemption story, fuck no. Like anybody who's done the shit that he's done and continually found himself licking the boots of his Homelander. You can't come back from that, bro. Like, you just can't come back from that.
All right. Well, I don't know. I guess we have different, hopes. I could definitely see him, his brother getting the power and doing all that. The only thing I was going to interject is I'll say that he didn't have. You say he didn't. We don't have the backstory yet, but we do know that through his brother that he did grow up in communities like the ones that he's trying to help, like that his brother's trying to help. So there's a little bit of backstory there. But I don't know, man. All I'm saying is y'all might want to prepare yourselves. I know you like fuck A-Train, but he's already been in there for 3 seasons. I think that they're going to try to character arc this dude into being somebody likable. May not work, but I think that that's where they're going with it. I don't know, but so
didn't work for Huey. Huey still punched him in his fucking face. Like, fuck you.
Well, Huey's going the other direction. Yeah, he was going the complete other direction, and that's been fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, it just seems like last thing, and then I think we might have to let Steph go, and then we've also got Obi Wan and Ms. Marvel within the last few minutes to discuss. The last thing is what happened to Mr. Soldier Boy getting rid of the powers. Like, we learned in this episode that he doesn't control all these instances where he's blowing everybody up. She's blacking out and waking back up like, yo, what's going on? Like, he didn't even know that he did this shit at the house. But what happened to the part of him like taking people's powers away? Is that still a thing, or what? Am I missing something here, Yaz? What's going on?
I think like he can't really control that part of, him being able to take people's powers. I just feel like at that time he was on like kind of defense when they met, when he initially came out of the silo and they met him and figured out that, he was the one that the Russians were held captive. So that burst of, energy, hearing, the music and everything at that time, I think that was like just, I don't know, like a self-defense kind of thing. And now that he's been using it, it's not like something it's just like Homelander's eyes instead of like his body, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, I don't think he can really control the fact that he can take people's powers or not, because there was a bunch of powered people at that party, and I'm like, it wasn't confirmed or denied. Like, dude with the dick, he was in there and his dick was still long as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like it was confirmed that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, every time he does that big power burst, whoever's super powered around him, you know what I'm saying? Like, they lose their powers, because obviously that dude wouldn't have been carrying his penis and running out.
True. Well, hey, who says that was his power? He might just be.
That was his power. We know.
It's all natural.
The shit was a rope.
So he can actually control that power. Prior to Homelander bursting up and out of the window, if you remember in the scene, Butcher said, "Do it now," and then he was charging it up to do it, and then he told Huey, "Get out of here," and Huey said, "Not a chance." So he was about to give him the what's happening, but Homelander kind of jumped up out of that shit before he was able to release it. But he was charging up to use it. So to Yaz's point, in those situations where he has those blackouts, that's a little different. That's more of an explosion, and it kind of like decimates everything around it. But remember when he first came out of the tank, the chamber, that his charge was isolated to Kimiko. He literally directed it right at her. Like it was like a focused beam of sorts that hit Kimiko. And at that moment, he was in control. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I think he was out of control, but still he was able to focus it. In that moment, he was about to focus it and hit Homelander, but Homelander was able to get away before that happened.
Well, real quick, let me just hit timeout and let's go ahead. I think we gotta let Steph get back to the real world and doing things that don't involve human body parts around other people's necks, preferably. So we'll leave that off. Oh, well, she said she's like, you don't know my life.
We don't know what she's into.
But yeah, Steph, we didn't get to the Steph Ray question of the day. Before you go, do you have time to get our answers real quick, and then we'll chop everything else after that? All right. So Steph Ray question of the day, for those of y'all that don't recall, at the very beginning, if you don't mind, Steph, if you want to repeat it for us, and then hopefully, guys, y'all have thought about it a little bit. But yeah, real quick, Steph.
Sure. In light of the state of America right now and what's been going on in the news, which fictional dystopian world do you think that we are closest to becoming, and why?
What's your answer, Steph?
Oh, the Hunger Games. We're right around the corner. We are right on the edge. We don't need any special technology. We just need some people empowered to decide, you know what, we're going to punish you by making your kids fight to the death for our entertainment. I feel like we're right on the edge of it. I can see us becoming Panem any moment now. We're close.
Because of gas prices? Like what makes it close to the Hunger Games?
The Supreme Court is out here wilding. America clearly does not care about protecting kids because just give everybody assault rifles. Why not? Don't check them. Doesn't matter how old they, who cares? Just give them guns. Yeah, America does not care about its people. And I think that we are right on the verge of the Hunger Games. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the Hunger Games. That sounds like I don't know if y'all saw that that series, but they're teenagers competing for food with bows and arrows and a bunch of other things that kill you.
So
and
basically, there is an uprising against a government, much like ours, which just does what it wants. It doesn't respect human rights. And so they decide to punish the people by selecting 2 kids from every district and making them fight to the death in a competition on reality TV. And it's required viewing for everyone to strike fear into their hearts and make sure they don't uprise ever again.
Yeah, and all of it's based on false scarcity because there's not enough resources to go around for everybody. When in reality, there's a very small contingent of people who have all these resources and are taking them from people. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Does anybody else have an answer ready? I think I have one.
Okay, well, let's hear yours.
It's really boring, but I think it's the boys. I think it's the boys. Because I mean, literally, if you take away the superhero aspect of it and just keep the power aspect of it, we're already living in that realm, right? You know what I'm saying? Folks who get abundance of power, they show one face to the media and the other face they keep behind closed doors. I think that we're living in that right now. And not to mention, the heads of this universe are blonde-haired, blue-eyed folks. That tends to keep happening somehow. You know what I'm saying? And it's also taken away from those. It shows that those without all that power can still fuck up people with that power and see butcher and see mother's milk. So I kind of see this dystopian universe playing out in The Boys, and I think that that's kind of where we are right now. I know it's easy because we're talking about it, but that's what I see. Yaz, Tyrone, anybody before Steph has to get up out of here?
I feel like you guys have seen that movie Elysium.
Oh yes. With
and
Ryan.
well, if you haven't seen it, Steph, it's a pretty older movie. It came out like around like 2010 or something like that. Between 2010 and like 2020, it came out. Definitely check it out. It's a good like a recap because of the question that you had.
Matt Damon.
I honestly think that yes, we are turning into Elysium. It's basically about the higher arc of society, leaving behind all the poor, society, and leaving us to die on our dying planet. And everyone that can and is able to goes to a completely other planet, and it's like a ring, like a giant fucking beautiful oasis of a ring, and all the rich people live there, and there's no sickness, no pain, no nothing, because they have all the technology in the world to make sure that they sustain and live a happy, healthy, beautiful life, and all the people on earth just basically fucking are screwed, and they just die off however they die, and they just don't give a fuck. And the way to get there is to basically try and fucking fight your way there. And that's what one person does for, the greater good. And he actually is the whole reason why like that society fell, is because he took like us normal people who were dying and tried to save this one person, and he ended up in himself, and he ended up like, just freeing society that they left behind to die, basically. So that's what I think is going to happen, honestly. I mean, we already have, Mars, they're already trying to fucking like, Vince all excited, but they're already trying to like, hey, we can buy land on Mars now. Like, great. Okay, all the rich people are going to leave us behind. Just saying, that's basically what's going to fucking happen. So, I mean, we're living in that world society today. We're killing our planet and we're needing new resources. So that's what I think it is. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh, Elysium, got this.
Nice. Yeah, Elysium, and it's kind of like a halo too that they live on, right? Like it's like a halo.
Yep, it's a halo. That's literally it's like where the moon is, like around, like it's near the moon, and you can literally see Earth from there, and it's fucking beautiful from there, and you can see the Earth, and the Earth looks beautiful. But then when you go to Earth, you're like, oh fuck, what the? It's poison. The air's poison. Everything about this is a wasteland. Like it literally, like they're just leaving people to die on this dying planet. So yeah, definitely check that movie out to go with your question. It's a pretty interesting watch.
That is a very good answer, man. Tyrone, did you have any ideas?
I'll be quick about mine. The most obvious answer is The Handmaid's Tale for me. Because you know we're slowly, well, not even slowly anymore. We're rapidly declining into a completely fascist society that's run by religious extremists, and you know, to the point where women have lost very, very essential rights, and it's not going to be too long before a lot of other people start feeling it too. And so that's where we're going. The United States is already kind of divided on a lot of this stuff, set up to where we're going to have some, it's not, I don't want to get too dark, but like, let's just say, those dominoes have been falling and will continue to fall.
Great. Oh man, that wow, man, that's so true, especially in America, in the United States specifically. Ty, to close it off so we can let Steph
really quick, there was a movie that came on Netflix not too long ago called Don't Look Up.
I
kind of feel like that's the direction we're heading in, where the government tells you what they want you to know, and takes facts and kind of deals with them however they want to deal with them, and then ultimately all the wealthy, the 1%, who can afford to get that flight out off the planet before it totally is annihilated. That's kind of what I feel like. That's where we're headed.
Yo, good. I mean, that's a great question, man. Shout out to Steph, man. If Ty was up and running, man, I'd say let's get some applause. Thank you very much for the Steph great question of the day. Steph, you got anything to say on the way out? I know we gotta let you go.
I love y'all. Glad to be back. That was a lot of genitalia imagery today. But outside of that, I had a great time. See you next week.
All right, Steph. Thanks again. Steph question of the day is always our favorite. Appreciate you. And since we do have a few minutes left, y'all, I figure we'll go ahead and talk about the Obi Wan series finale. I'm sorry, Ms. Marvel. We may have to come back to you next week. But the series finale of Obi, look, Tyrone, don't go. Hold on, Tyrone, stay, don't leave. All right, he's still. All right, yeah, man. I think we talk about this season finale, bro. Listen, man, I am just gonna say it. I think Obi Wan is now the second best series, Star Wars wise. Now, mind you, there've only been 3 released.
Low bar.
But it's better than Boba. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it was so true to the Star Wars culture. You laughing, Tyler? That's funny?
Boba's. I mean, when you're like, it's better than Boba. Boba was trash.
All right. Well, let's unpack what we saw this episode. All right. So finally, the square off between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader ensued, and it looks like Obi was victorious. This kind of does give a little more background as to why they're quarreling in episode 4. We also saw Qui-Gon, and we also got a chance to see that Reva evidently may now be coming either to the light side or leaving the dark side or whatever it is that's going on. Yes, you saw the episode, I'm assuming. Did you like it? What'd you take away from it? What's going on?
I loved the final battle between Vader and Obi-Wan. That was pretty epic. I definitely liked how he left his ass hanging too. That was bliss. This whole series definitely was a little bit of an eye opener. I didn't realize how now I understand why Leia named her son Ben. You know what I'm saying? Like there's that whole Padawan kind of relationship, you know what I'm saying? I liked hers and Obi-Wan's kind of relationship that they had, and now I understand why her son was named Ben. You know what I'm saying? That makes a lot of sense to me now. So I definitely like, you know, the aspects of this, and like how, you know, they gave her, you know, Tala's holster and stuff like that to keep, you know, her spirit up, you know, with their whole rebel, you know, like spirit. I love that. But you know, she's 10 years old, so she can't have a blaster. So I thought that shit was funny. She's like, there's no blaster in it. So I don't know. There were some cheeky moments for sure, but it all in all, it wasn't a bad one for me. I liked it. I liked how Reva got her little redemption too. I don't know why they had her looking so fucked up though. Like when she was carrying him back, I get she got like stabbed, but like girl's hair was fucked up. Like someone like drug her all through the sand. So that I think, you know, could have been a little bit better of like representation of her, you know what I'm saying? Because she went into the desert not looking that rough, and then she even went to go get water and she didn't look that fucked up. And then her hair was just like completely like she just rolled around in the damn dirt. It was like just really weird. And she didn't do anything.
Like she had walked through the desert.
Well, no, because like I'm just saying, like the desert doesn't make your whole head look like, you know, a balloon was rubbing all over that shit. So that's what I mean. Like the frizz, I get that, but like, yeah, I don't know, it was a little fucked up. So
well, all of her hair products were back at the Fortress Inquisitorius, so like she didn't have access to that shit. So like it just kind of, you know,
I'm just saying, my hair don't go that bad.
So. No, just for me shop. There's no Sally's on tattoo.
Are you sure? Might not be called probably, Sally's. Might
probably
be called
like somewhere. Yeah, right. But all right, yeah, I can dig it. Tyrone, same thing, man. Same question. Did you like the episode? What did you take away from it?
Yeah, I thought that the duel between Obi Wan and Darth Vader was a lot of fun. I thought it was about as like cool looking and like crazy as I think it should have been. I don't like shaky cam. I think it's I don't like that. I think that actually took away from a lot of it. So I don't like the way that it was filmed, but I do think that the battle itself was fun. And that's about it. I mean, it's you know, these shows, I've said it before, but these shows to me suffer from being kind of wedged into canon that we already know so much about. So there's only so much that can be done. So I'm looking forward to when Star Wars gets out of the Skywalker era, so we can start to, you know, just like have new experiences. And that's, you know, but again, this was a fun show. I agree with you that it was better than Boba Fett. But yeah, ultimately, like, it's like, okay, that was cool. That was fun. But, you know, if I'm not going to rewatch it. And if it didn't exist, I don't think we would have been missing out on much.
Wow. Really? Oh, wow. Okay.
Me personally, that's, you know, my personal thoughts.
Of course. I mean, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
The Ty, same room, same question.
Yeah, I mean, Tyrone could have said it better. I'm with him. I actually hated a lot of the production quality of the show, and if we're being honest, a lot of it was like very, very generic. And I was like, what? Like, for instance, when Obi Wan got on the shuttle and was like flying in front of the
Star Destroyer.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was like, you can't get any more bad than this. It looked absolutely horrible for a 2022 you know, film production to look like that. Like, that was horrible. And then the fight scene, like he said, I don't like shaky cameras either. Especially when you're trying to do, you know, close up you know, action scenes, because it blurs the vision. And then where they were the camera placement was bad too. Why put the camera on the ground in the first place? Like, why? What is the purpose of that? You can literally reel out or zoom out and get a much better scene than what they were doing. And it was just production wise, I definitely think they could have did a way better job. You know, because our expectations for Obi Wan were really high. I think people had like really high expectations for this show. And if we're being perfectly honest, I'm not saying the show was bad, but I do think it was underwhelming when it comes to the potential for success that it kind of, you know, had for us going into it, and then what we got. The fight scene between Vader and Obi Wan, it was subpar at best. I think you had better fight scenes in Revenge of the Sith. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I see that type of quality that long ago, but then you give me this now, I'm like I mean, like it looked like we had old versions of these guys fighting. Vader was clumsy. Vader was clumsy. You know, like it just looked.
You can't. Yeah, that's I think another a symptom of being stuck in this era is because, like, you know, you gotta use Hayden Christensen, and you gotta use Ewan McGregor, and these are people who age. Like, you can't CGI those knees, you know what I mean? Like, so the choreography is not going to be what it was in Revenge of the Sith, which is why they had to put the camera in weird angles and shaky cam to hide the, you know, the limitations of these human beings, you know, these poor humans having to go through this. So it's like all right, yeah, I feel you, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now only thing I would say is that I have to take issue with the lightsaber duel issue that you have, because if you go back and watch the original lightsaber duel between Obi Wan and Darth Vader in Episode 4, I mean, this is way better. Now, is it Anakin versus Obi in their prime? You know, Revenge of the Sith? No, absolutely not. But damn, if you literally, like, in Episode 4, the original lightsaber was white. It wasn't even like blue. You know what I'm saying? And the type of the moves that they would use. And this one I love it when the Jedi or the Sith use the Force while wielding the lightsaber. It's like one of my favorite things. I don't hate shaky cam like y'all do. I didn't even know that's what it was called. I kind of like that Office first person one camera to kind of make it look more realistic. It gets a little gritty, and if it shakes too much, yeah, I might get a headache. But I think this was done appropriate. I don't know. Me and you seem to be only ones that kind of, I think, felt this season finale. I don't know. What about the fact that they had Qui-Gon? Like, I've been teasing Qui-Gon all this time about not having a Force ghost, and they brought him a Force ghost. Is that at least? I mean, is that worth anything in y'all world? No.
I mean, he was there.
He was there for 15 seconds.
Yeah,
like,
but honestly, by the time this show didn't handle moments well. Like, by the time you get to these moments, you're like, okay. Like, it's, you know, it was like, okay, cool, that's Qui-Gon, but, like, you know, that's cool. Like, honestly, if they wanted to end the show right, they probably should have ended it at Obi Wan saying hello there to Luke. I thought that was a better moment than the Qui-Gon moment. You know what I mean? Like, I still have fun watching the show. It's, you know, because it's like they're giving us Star Wars stuff or whatever, but it's just it's like, you ever get a gift and it's like somebody just kind of like hands it to you in a plastic bag. And it's like, okay, thanks for the gift. And, you know, wrapping would have been nice. It doesn't change the gift, but the wrapping being nice adds to the moment. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like Obi Wan would just kind of hand it to us in a grocery bag, and it's like, here's the moments you asked for. Hope you like them. Which is like, okay.
And apparently, when you die as a Jedi, you continue to age in death. How the fuck is Qui-Gon look older than he did when he died? Like, no one in the production room was like, hey guys, we may have a slight problem. Maybe we should brown his beard. He wasn't that old when he died, but yet here he is as a ghost, and he looks like he's aged about 30 years. So I'm just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm at the fact check that one, man. I don't know. I don't know. I think he looked about the same, but that's funny to think about the fact that is the case. You know what I'm saying? Because we could do a whole hour on the Force Ghost in itself. You know what I'm saying? And how it was, you know, one Anakin that appeared for Luke, then a different Anakin, and then now, you know, we could do a whole thing. But unfortunately, we're down to our last few seconds, man. And unfortunately, we also weren't able to get to a show that I love, frankly. I ain't gonna lie, and that's Kamala Khan in Ms. Marvel. We didn't get to talk much about that. We didn't get to talk about the fact that they officially kicked Ezra Miller off of the DC show, and rightfully so, and a whole host of other things, man. So let's come on back next week and let's talk even more. But for this week, we'll go ahead and wish you guys adieu. And as always, guys, from us, including Stephanie, be your authentic self, man, because if you ain't, then you being fake, and ain't no fun in that. And Sorry we started late, by the way. And shout out to our future guests, Daniel, Biddle, and Phoenix, who's supposed to be here. But we'll talk next week. And next week, between now and then, if you a geek, go ahead and let that geek flag fly. And I'm sorry I still got Nolly on the credits.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief, only Ken and Ra. You, I find it hard to beat. Blanca, keep a wee ninja hanging and our uncle album banging. If you negative in energy, then stay out the vicinity of, yeah, them niggas over there, yeah.